They can wait one more minute. But your day going okay so far?
Yes, ma'am. How's your day going?
It's going pretty good. I'm off. I was off today, so which I was thankful for. Which I'm off today since tomorrow's a holiday. So yeah, it's all
Good.
good. Well, glad to have my little 3-day weekend.
Good.
Hey.
Hey, April. Hey, Jasmine.
Let me see. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm just gonna go on and get started. So, I'm just gonna go on and get started with the interview. So, what I'm gonna do is after the interview, I'm gonna upload it to YouTube so to do the full coverage in case anybody missing anything like that. I'll let you know when it's ready. So that way you can you can share it out and everything.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking your time out to join me to discuss Hook on Onyx with Miss Ma'am. We gotta talk about that book. You gotta talk about Hook on Onyx, Miss Ma'am. Cause listen, cause you had me from the beginning to the end. I was stressed. I was kind of pissed, and I was just like going through it and the plot twist. And the plot twist, I don't want to give it away. The plot twist is a chapter. Cause I reached out to April. I told April, I was like, girl, did you read? She said, no, I'm not there yet. I had to read that chapter 3 times to make sure I caught on what I caught on. And when it finally read it to me, I say, what? I'm like, okay, now this is, and then you end it the way you end it. I'm like, really? We're not gonna get no part 2, huh?
Absolutely. That's something out. You'll see the cover today or tomorrow. There will be a part two.
Oh, good, good, good. Cause I'm ready for it too. Cause I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Especially the way you ended that book. I'm like, oh, there gotta be a part 2. There gotta be part 2. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so let me get that. Okay, first of all, Miss Man, we gotta start about with the obvious question. What inspired the story of Hook on Honest? Because judging by the title, I mean, I think we all know somebody was supposed to get hooked, right? But the story turned into so much more to that. What was the initial idea behind the book? What sparked the journey of bringing honest and the entire story to life?
So what sparked Hooked on Onyx was actually her name. I'm like a random person, especially when it comes to creating. So I happened to be looking into the gemstone called Onyx, and I looked into like just the origin of Onyx, and it has a interesting origin. It actually in Greek mythology it derived from the goddess Aphrodite's fingernails, and the goddess Aphrodite she was like a goddess of confusion when it came to men. So she was like different passion when it came to me. So she pretty much I cursed, so you have to excuse
Yo,
me.
you fine, you fine.
She kept up shit when it came to men. So that's
Yeah.
what Goddess Aphrodite was on. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna spin it into like a hood, just like dynamic. And that's what I did. Like I started it from there and built the character from
Yeah.
Aphrodite.
Okay. 'Cause I definitely like the name Hook on Annika. Like I say, Annika means so many different things and the origin of it. So the fact that you did some research for it, that I think it's really great that you decided to do research on it because people could take it as different meaning. You know what I'm saying? So that was definitely that's a good idea. I like how you title Hook on Annika. Listen, because I definitely was hooked for sure. I was definitely hooked. I definitely hooked for sure. Okay, now I gotta talk to you about the line that jumped right straight at me, right? The page that said with me, so you wrote, I was starting to understand that darkness didn't always come from outside. Sometimes it was already inside you. Now that line hit me because everybody could interpret it differently. Uh, some people might see it as trauma, some light, some might see it as pain, anger, fear, or even a part of ourselves to as we try to hide. What did that quote mean to you when you wrote it, and what would you hoping readers would take from it?
So from that, it could, there could be different meanings. People interpret things different ways. But my interpretation of it was pretty much like, the greatest threat isn't always what's, happening around you, but what people, like what you could already be carrying.
Yeah.
That was like what I was thinking when I came up with that specific, well, when I plugged that in.
Yeah. Okay, because I think that's one of the strongest lines that I remember highlighted in my notes with that. Was like, okay, oh, there's something different. I never really thought of it like that. You know what I'm saying? It just actually made me think. I'm like, wow, you know what that is? Has, some kind of truth to it. If it resonates with you, you know what I mean? It may not resonate with everybody else. But if it resonates, you can understand where it's coming from. So I definitely appreciate that. Hey. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, hey, book look, hey, Miss Tiffany.
Yeah. Okay. She said she's well. How are you? She thought you different. Oh, my bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. Okay. Cause one thing that really stood out to me was the relationship between Onyx and her brother, Nashad. They were extremely close, and honestly, at times he felt like he more than like a brother in a sense. He almost stepped into that father figure role because of how honest and protective he was with her. He didn't sugarcoat things. That's what I love. That's one thing I love about him. He didn't sugarcoat it, but he always seemed to keep it real with her, whether she wanted to hear it or not. What's important for readers to see the strength of the bond early on in the story, especially knowing that as we get further into the book, that relationship helps us understand honest on a much deeper level and why certain moments impact her the way they do.
See, I wanted readers to see, early on that Nashad was more than just her brother. He was like her protector and one of the few people who made her feel safe. And their bond was like important because it gave readers like a deeper understanding,
Yeah.
who Onyx really was and why certain moments hit her so hard. So
Yeah, I could definitely understand that cause I love the bond that they had. Cause one thing I love about LaShawn character, hey Artivity, hey y'all. One thing I love about LaShawn character, like he ain't sugarcoat nothing. He kept it 100 with her. Like this is what it is. You take it how you want to take it. You know what I mean? That's one
and a
thing
lot
I
of
love
people,
about the brother. Like I could really appreciate that. Cause it's good to see siblings get along in the book. Like I said, you don't see too much of that, and when you read the book, you always see some tension like that, some jealousy and stuff like that. But it's good to come across where you have sibling bond that's so tight. You know what I'm saying? That it's still out there. 'Cause like some nowadays, some family siblings ain't tight at all for whatever circumstances it may be. But to see it in a book, it's definitely refreshing for me to see because I'm the only child. So I really don't have no siblings. But to see that, it's like I said, okay. It kind of made me want to have a sibling. And I'm like, nah, I'm the only child. I like not have to share my toys. So when people ask me that, I'm like, I never had to share my toys. So I don't know what they like. And they be like, fam, I'm like, no, I'm serious. I don't know. I don't know what it's like.
it's something. But yeah,
Yeah, that's why I heard, but I know some people, I feel like it's good to have a sibling. Confess you got somebody to talk to, they back you up and stuff like that. But and then again, you be like, I'm the only child to get what I want. So sometimes I kind of wish I was similar. Sometimes I don't. I be 50-50. I be 50-50 on
it's
it.
it's a different experience for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what? It really all depends on just like the upbringing. Like just like with Hooked on Onyx, their dad strengthened their bond because their
Yeah.
mother wasn't there. So their dad made their bond like as strong as it was because he putting a shot into that energy of if anything happens, this is your role, this is your sister.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because he definitely played a huge part, like you said, that bond and strengthening it because he made sure that if he not around, this is your sister. You have to look out for her. So I can see that. That's definitely important. I can definitely see that.
mhm.
Okay. So what did LaShawn, this is a follow-up question to the question. What did Lashad represent Onyx emotionally? Was he her protector, her safe space, a voice of reason, or a little bit all those things?
I wouldn't say he was her voice of reason because although she didn't fully understand like what he was trying to like break down to her. I would say he was
Yeah.
her protector. So
Yeah.
he was her protector.
The protector. Okay, got it. Yeah, I could definitely see that. He definitely was. He definitely protected the hell out of her. I could definitely say that. Okay. Now, Onyx definitely described her father very differently from some other the relationship we see in the book. He was very particular about appearances, how his family represented themselves, keeping a clean house, dressing well, making sure his children were taken care of. Now, one thing was clear is that he absolutely did not play by Onyx, because that's one thing that man did not play. He did not play by his daughter. But I was reading, I couldn't help but wonder if in some ways his family was also a reflection of him. Like almost like how they carry themselves, how they look, how they were perceived by others were connected to how he wanted to be seen. Do you agree with that interpretation, or was he type of father he saw his family as a addition of himself, or more about wanting to give his children things that he never had?
I wouldn't say it wasn't fully, about. Thank you guys. It wasn't fully about just like what he, could give his kids. It was, that was like partially some of it, but he was the type of man. If like anybody read Hooked on Onyx, you would see that he was big on like presentation, like how other people viewed them, because he had that mentality where you would see like the kids first. You would see the kids first, and they were like an extension of him. So he was big on that and cleanliness. So
Yeah.
but it wasn't,
Okay. Okay, cause we gotta talk about Danielle for a minute now. That little helper there, girl. We gotta talk about her. Okay, we gotta talk about Danielle for a minute, cause that little lady done pissed me off in this food. She done made me mad. Okay, we could tell that Onyx was not feeling her at all. Honestly, there seems to be a lot of tension from the beginning. Cause as I was reading, I started wondering if Danielle's issue was with Onyx went deeper than what it was on the surface, right? Because Onyx had a strong relationship with her father. And despite their challenges, there was a bond there. Meanwhile, Danielle seemed to be struggling with her own relationship with her daughter. Do you think there was a level of jealousy there? But not necessarily because who Onyx is, but the relationship that she had with her father that she wish she had with her daughter.
That's a good question. No, honestly, it wasn't like the jealousy with her own daughter, because honestly, Danielle was one of those women that really didn't care. She was like a middle-centered woman. The
Yeah.
only thing she cared about was how he perceived his own daughter. She was jealous of that. So that's why, like in the story, you'll see her like faking pregnant, or you'll, catch that.
Yeah.
She fakes pregnancies because she wants like an extension of what June gives to Onyx. So it's
Yeah.
solely based on how he treats Onyx.
Okay. Cause I was wondering about that, cause the way Danielle was like, towards Onyx, it just kind of like on the surface from outside looking in, it's like she was jealous of Onyx in the relationship that she had with her father, especially what happened later on in the book. Y'all gonna have to read the book to find out, to see why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I'm not gonna get that part away. But what she did, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said that, because the situation with, I don't want to give it away. They gotta read it. They gotta read it for themselves. To figure out what I went through with this book. Okay, so let's get into Lulu and King for a second. Now, because that dynamic caught my attention, because when we were introduced to Ken, we learned that Nashad, good friend, and pretty early on became clear there was some history and tension. At the same time, Lulu seemed very well that Ken had no interest in Onyx. But as I was reading, I couldn't help but wonder if some of Lulu's behavior was less about Ken himself, more about proving a point. Because it's almost like she wanted Onyx to see that she could get his attention, or that she had some type of advantage in that situation. Do you think Lulu was genuinely interested in Ken, or was it part of that motivation on wanting to show off? Like she was in competition with Onyx in a sense?
It was actually both. She was actually initially genuinely interested in him, but then like her ego started like taking,
Yeah, yeah.
her ego took a hit like when he, brushed her off and actually wanted on. It's like it kind of bruised her ego, like in a sense. Like I'm in reality that would happen. Like so, but she did it initially because she was really feeling him. Like she liked
Yeah, feeling them. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, you kind of answered my question. I had a follow up question, but you kind of answered it, so I'm just gonna skip that one. Okay.
him. Okay.
Yeah, everybody needs to read this book because listen, because it was definitely worth it. Okay, it was worth every penny, every coins, every chump change. The little funky dollars. It was every single thing. Definitely was every single thing. Okay. Now, one scene that stood out to me with Danielle Onyx father got into an argument, right? Things started to get out of hand. Now, LaShawn and Onyx was right there witnessing everything unfold. What caught my attention was just the argument itself, but it was the look that LaShawn gave Onyx. It was almost like you telling her without saying a word, like, don't ever let a man have so much control over your emotions you lose yourself or get out of character. Why was that moment important for readers to see? Because to me it did more show us the chaos between the adult. It also highlighted the bond that she had with her brother. Like he always looking out for her, teaching her value lesson and trying to guide her, even in moments when there was no one spoken.
Okay, so in that moment, it was important for me to see that just how having just that brother role, like that male
Yeah.
figure in your life to tell you like, okay, well, although you do see that I'm this way, and you're seeing like what other women are going like, don't be like that. So it was important for them to see just that entire dynamic, just like, and to just understand that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I definitely, because I kind of like that because a lot of time us women sometimes we let a man allow us to interfere with our emotions because we don't think, you know what I'm saying, we get so upset, especially if we love that person, we don't think, you know what I'm saying, we just act up off of emotion, you know what I'm saying, and just feelings. But the fact that he told her that, like, look, don't ever let a man
Get you out of
take you
my
out of character. You know what I'm saying? Because when you said, I'm like, okay, that is real and true. I hope people take heed to this little information, that little paragraph. I hope people read it and take it and understand it. Because, because the way I always look at it like, in a sense, he almost like telling her, no matter what he do, you have a choice, you know what I'm saying, to tolerate it or you don't, in a sense, you know what I mean? Because you only going to allow what you allow that person to do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta set some boundaries. So
right.
I could appreciate him telling her that, like, hey, don't ever let no man get you out of character. He's not worth it, in a sense. I definitely could appreciate that. Okay. So, before I get to any more questions, do anybody have any question for the author they want to ask Miss Adrian?
Not y'all time.
Tiffany Lachey said one thing that I love about her book, she takes some stuff home with you. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm gonna drop some gems every time now. Drop some
Yeah.
gems.
You definitely. I'm gonna tell you, you definitely drop some gems in this book. Cause listen, because as I was reading it, I like, wow, it's just a lot of hidden gem in there that I feel like some people really need to see. Cause you don't see that often in a book. The fact that you made it written so well that I think that people who read it, they might just overlook it without even interpreting what was said. 'Cause when I was reading, I'm like, okay, I was highlighting everything that the shot said, baby. I was highlighting, and I was on my kid. I have a kid crop. I was like, yeah, that's right, the short, yeah.
Thank you, Tiffany. Love you, girl.
Hey, After K, it's called Hook on It. That's the name of the book.
I know. We found out.
I'm gonna put in the comments. Let me see.
Jasmine, girl, don't tell these people. You gonna give them what you call it? Don't tell them the story. She did find out at the party.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she found out at the party. Yeah. They just gonna have to read it, but they go once they read it, they gonna know what we talking about. They know what we talking about. Okay. One thing, LaShawn, right? LaShawn confided in Onyx to let her know that she was gonna be an aunt. You could tell he wasn't feeling the situation at all. But one thing about LaShawn, he was always going to keep it real with his sister. He told her something that was honest and unfortunately true for a lot of people. Never thinking that having a baby is gonna make someone stay or suddenly want to be in a relationship. A child should never be used as a reason to hold on to someone who don't want to be there. Cause listen, when you put that in that book, girl, I want to throw my Kindle. I want to throw my Kindle. I'm telling you, and I don't have no kid, but for you to put that in a book, I wish people could grasp that and understand that. You know, just because you have a baby by someone doesn't mean that that man gonna stay. You know what I'm saying? A baby not gonna make a man stay.
That's why I tell you, a lot of people, they need LaShawn as a brother. Like a lot of people don't have they don't get put on game the way that LaShawn and
yeah.
See the difference between LaShawn verbally would tell Onyx, hey, don't go through this, don't do that.
Yeah.
The dad would actually show through action, and Onyx would I'm not going through that. So
Yeah. Cause that's one thing. Cause like when I read it by LaShawn, I say LaShawn is one of my favorite characters out of the whole book. Like he one that kept me a child. Like he was like a brother that everybody, like you said, everybody wish they had. You know what I'm saying? And cause I remember my cousin telling me that long time ago. He's like, Faye, a baby will never keep a man. He told me that himself, and to this day, I still remember like it was yesterday. And I always say, when people ask me why I don't have kids, and there's no offense to nobody, but I tell people I'm careful about who I have kids with. I'm not gonna just say I have a baby for somebody just to say I have a baby. You know, they're just not me. I'm not gonna do that. I guess because the way my cousin told me that when I was younger, they just stayed with me throughout my whole life. Like a baby ain't gonna keep no man. But LaShawn, he definitely did it part with that one. But one thing I like about the show, he took the moment. It showed a moment how protective he was of Onyx, right? Even though he's still dealing with his own situation, he was still took the time and shared it wisdom with her. But it wasn't coming from a place of judgment. It came from love and wanting his sister to understand her worth. You know what I'm saying? That's how I really feel. As an author, what was that like writing that scene? Because was it important to show sibling bond can sometimes be one of the strongest relationships in a person's life.
Absolutely. So the importance of just writing that dynamic between the two of them, I think I said it like it showed just like the growth of her. It showed her mindset, like her mentality when she got older. So that showed just like the importance of having, that person in your life to tell you like, hey, don't go through this, don't do that, don't. So that was important for like people to see just the strength of their bond and like how it influenced her later in the story.
Okay. Well, there's one question that was asked, but it was hidden, but I think it might be giving it away. I'm gonna see how I can explain it. You can just say yes or no. Did someone tell Lulu about somebody being put? I'm just gonna say it like that because I'm not saying no name.
Wait a minute. I know who asked it. No, I'm probably Lulu did not know this. It's a lot of people that said Lulu knew. Lulu knew. She did not know. I promise Lulu did not know.
Okay. Cause she said hell yeah, because ain't no way she didn't know.
Crack me up.
Cause now it's new, baby. It's new. Oh, it been on and popping. It been on the popping. The way she did play by her girl Onyx, it'd have been on and popping for sure. It'd been on the popping. Cause I had to think about what she said, cause I had been ready, but yeah, I had to think about what she did. Yeah. Okay. So one of the cause she said, baby, this story made me mad. Okay, so one of the heartbreaking moments in this book what happened to Anna's father, right? It was a situation that I don't think really reflecting it all, and it completely shifted the dynamic of the family. As an author, was that a difficult scene for you to write, or was it important for you to show how quickly life can change within a close-knit family? Because that moment really highlight how you can have a strong family bond one day, and the single event completely alter the course of everyone's lives in an instant.
Yeah, so it was actually it was somewhat complicated writing that because it touches like something that happens a lot that we see, frequently. Some
Yeah,
people didn't catch on to it, but he was late. I,
yeah,
I'm selling a book, but people didn't catch on to that. But like it touched on something like very sensitive that happens, very frequently, and
yeah,
it shows that things can change like as quick as they change. Like one day things are good, you're enjoying your adolescent or your just everyday life, and
yeah. I understand.
within
Yeah, yeah,
things can change very quickly.
yeah. Cause those of you gonna be wondering why I said I can't stand Danielle, y'all gonna find out when y'all read that book. Y'all gonna find out. That's all I'm gonna say. You
Mm-hmm.
gonna find out. Gonna find out. Okay. Now, we're gonna have to talk about this chapter. Now, Miss Ma'am. Listen, y'all. Listen to me very clear when I say this. When y'all get to chapter 23 and 24, make sure y'all read that chapter 2 or 3 times to get understand and grasp what's gonna happen. Cause it gonna shock the hell out of y'all. Okay, y'all gonna be so shocked. You gonna read it. You gonna read that chapter, and you gonna be thinking like, "Am I reading what I'm reading?" Make sure y'all read that chapter 2 or 3 times to get what I'm talking about. Cause once you read it, you're gonna be like, oh, I know exactly what Faye talking about. You're gonna be shocked. And when you get to that point, y'all send me a DM or see her a DM and let her know what y'all think because I want to know. I want to know. I definitely want to know. Okay. Now, we got to talk about chapter 3 and 25 because what was that? Because the plot twist that just came out of absolutely nowhere. I was telling them like, I know you lying. Like I'm like, I know she lying. I like when I think I had to go back and read that chapter again. I read it 3 times because I made sure I didn't miss anything. Because I was like, I'm not even exaggerating. Because every time I reread it, I kept hoping I misunderstood what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, it was like, no, but right there on the page, the story the whole time. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what made you decide to write that plot twist and that story like that?
um, I have the slightest. I'm a random writer. I'm like, honestly, you know what? From the beginning, I think I told somebody this already. I think from the beginning, I already knew this was gonna happen. So there were 2 parts. Normally, I kind of freestyle throughout the story.
Yeah.
This was one of the parts that I knew was gonna be there. I had to plan it somewhere, but and then also I just wanted to show the nature of men. Like we are. He wanted what he wanted, and he went for it in the way that he went for it. So
Yeah, cause he did. Cause I'm still feel like what the hell I'm different. Cause you know what though. You know what though. I honestly thought it was somebody else. That's what I thought. Cause when the way it's like this how trip out I was. The way you wrote it, it made it seem like you were talking about another character. I thought you were talking about somebody, 2 other characters that in the book. I ain't know you were talking
you
about
have to
them
go
two.
back and read it. You had to make sure it was them. It was them.
Yeah, cause I said, wait a minute. And when it got closer to what I was reading, I'm like, I said, what the hell? I said, oh no. They said I must be missing something. I kept going back to my kid. I'm like, when I got back to, I said, I went all the way back to. Let me see what chapter I said. I went back all the way back to chapter 23, and I like. How the hell I missed it the first time? And I'm still thinking we talking about a whole two completed chapter. I even sent a message to Ava on DM. I said, girl, did you read chapter 23 to the phone yet? She said, nah, I haven't got a chance to read it because she was getting ready for Black Romance. I said, girl, when you get to that chapter, I was like, because I was like, I was like, wow. This whole entire time. I was like, wow. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
That was them. That was them.
Good listen. Okay. So one of the most emotional moments in the book was when Onyx went to go visit her father. He revealed something completely shattered her, right? You could feel the heartbreak and confusion and devastation pouring out the page. Do you think Onyx was expecting to hear that kind of news when she went to go see him, or did she walk into that conversation thinking it was just going to be another visit, only to have her entire world upside down?
She just went like just to visit him. Like it was a normal like visit. She just thought she was going to visit him. She didn't think that she was going to get the news that she got. So that definitely shattered her. But she wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, she definitely was expecting the Tiffany say, clutching my pearls. Girl, I was clutching my invisible pearls. Okay. I ain't had no pearls. I pretend like this was the pearl the whole time I was reading. I'm like, oh Lord, sweet Jesus. Like, you know the bougie people that been around them hood people and they don't know how to add and they be like clutching their pearls. That's what I was doing, okay? I was clutching them pearls so tight. Like I had to hold my purse so tight so nobody won't ride my ass. That's how tight I was clutching my pearls. Okay. Girl, cry with her. What?
He did really. And you wonder why in the beginning he was saying like what he was saying, like well how she was explaining how he would explain about the mother, and that would be that broke her. That really did.
Yeah, there was at the moment I was so hurt for her because to hear that news and you think of a person, you think about somebody one way and then it alters your mindset how you think about that person. You know, that could definitely devastation. I really felt for Honest in that then.
Right, and you know what, Faye? Like even when what happened with her dad, it didn't change her, perception too much of him. She still
Yeah.
loved him the same way, but it took for that one situation and hearing him admit to that to actually fully change her.
Yeah.
So
Tiffany said that's why he treated her like he owed her the world. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. You are right. And that ties into the first question you asked me. It was like, why did he treat them like that? Because, it was like for perception reasons.
Yeah.
One of them, and then that was the other reason.
Yeah.
He felt bad.
Yeah. He's like guilt in a sense. Yeah, I say that guilt in a sense. Okay, so before we get to know you as the author, now I had to talk about some questions. Now, listen, y'all. We're gonna get into her about author, but in order to y'all have to read her on it to get the full story. So if you're just coming in, don't worry. I will upload the full interview on YouTube sometime next week. Yeah, that's true. Like he didn't want her to know what he did, so he let me give her. Yeah, buy her gifts. Yeah, in a sense, yeah, that's true. Yeah. So do y'all have any other questions that y'all want to ask before I get into the last question about the book? Because some of us got some answers. Some of us need some answers. Okay, I don't see no questions so far. Okay. Now, she said, "What? Yeah, that's part. That's part. I to ask April. I'm gonna ask that question. Why did you do it like that with the ending? that was gonna be my question. Yeah, so we need to talk about the ending, Miss Ma'am. Cause listen, why you did us like that, and more importantly, why you do me like that? You know what I'm saying? Cause I was hurt. I was sitting there in my feelings, staring at the page. I'm like, I said, no, she just didn't end the book like this. I mean, the way you ended the book and left us hanging. I'm like, I said, I was cussing you out of my mind. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was cussing you out in my mind. You was all type of B's and old H's and everything in my mind. I don't even know you, but girl, I was cussing you out so good in my mind. I'm like,
I see that every day. Like the ending. That's all I keep seeing. The ending. The ending. I'm like, oh, is it that bad? I'm sorry.
yes. What you mean? Was it that bad, girl? Yes. It was that bad. It was that bad. You could have given us you could have gave us a little hope. You didn't give us no hope. You
Guess
like
what? The hope is there's a part 2.
we wasn't expecting a part 2. We were expecting a little hope in the end of the way. You just left us with a cliffhanger. You ain't say, hey, trigger warning. There's gonna be a cliffhanger. You ain't give us no type of warning. You ended the way you ended, and that was it.
That's true.
I'm like, well, damn, what happened to? I'm like, what happened? Like, what happened to the? Like, is she? You know, I can't say what I can't say because I gotta be careful because I don't want to give it away. But I'm like, what the hell?
That's good writing. That's how you do it. But guess what? Like I said, it's part 2. I can say that now. There's part 2. Right? So, I'm sorry, y'all.
Cause I'm sitting up there. I mean, I stood at my Kindle like probably like 10 minutes. I'm like, well, and I kept going like this. I'm like, where the hell the rest of it? I know they gotta be another. Like, okay, I was gonna say, well, just joking, just kidding. That's what I was hoping to see. And I just said, Amazon review. Thank you for reading. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see what the rest of the damn what happened. That's like, in the way you ended it, like I said, damn. I don't even know we're gonna get a part 2. That's how I was like. That's how I was thinking.
I'm do it like that.
Well, okay, well let me ask you is there gonna be a part 2? Can you tell us what characters that we gonna see from book 1 and part 2?
So in part 2, you're going to see Miss Lulu, of course. We gotta keep Miss Lulu.
Yeah.
Mish, she's coming back. King will be back. Onyx I wasn't supposed to say that, but and who else? Cortez will be back as well. You're gonna within part 2, you're gonna see a lot more of their dynamic, Cortez and Lulu. Gonna understand a little more. Anthony, you're gonna see Anthony.
Who wanna see him?
Y'all don't want to see Anthony.
I don't want to see Anthony. I don't want to see Misha. I want to see more Lashard. Really?
Oh yeah, Nasha. Oh, of course, Nasha is gonna be there, like on the front page.
Okay, good. You're talking about Christine Lachey. Tiffany agree with me. I'm just saying, I don't care about Misha. Anthony. I don't care about him because he the reason. No, let me shut up before I give it away. Before you decide, you know what? I ain't doing a live with Faye no more. Let me shut up. Let me shut up.
But yeah, Nasha will be back. Coming back. And you know what? Nasha was one of my favorite characters. I like Nasha. Him and Lulu. They were. A lot of people didn't like Lulu. I didn't know people were gonna dislike Lulu, but I was, I was fucking with Lulu. I like Lulu. And the show.
Really, they like
Lulu? I think.
Really?
I think Jazz isn't here anymore, but she can't stand Lulu.
Really? Wow. I like Lulu. I really like Lulu because I feel like even though she have her own differences, but I feel like she had her own issues. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, so I definitely like Lulu. But me, I don't like that helper.
I don't blame you.
I don't like that helper.
Nobody does now. She'd have made it.
Yeah, Tiffany said I didn't like Lulu because she wasn't a real friend. Misha wasn't a real friend either.
That's crazy. That's the second person. Tiffany is the second person. That's crazy.
She said both of them. She said both of them. I prefer Lulu better than Misha because why Misha kept that secret. Even though Lulu wasn't really a good, I understand why you say Lulu wasn't a good friend, but I feel like with Misha, you kept that secret from everybody for so long. You know what I'm saying? And if they're supposed to be your friend or your best friend, you tell your best friend everything. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be good or bad. But like she hid that for a reason. Absolutely. In a sense, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why I said I rather Lulu than Misha.
Yeah, she had some motives behind what she did.
Yeah, that's why I figured. That's why I said she had some motive behind it. You got some motive behind. She said, "Baby, I swear I can't stand her." Ooh, child. Okay. Now, okay, let's get to know you behind the story, right? Okay. When did you know you wanted to become a writer? And was there a specific moment when you realized storytelling was something you wanted to pursue, or has writing always been a passion of yours?
Yes, writing has always been a passion of mine. So I've been writing probably since 8th grade. And I knew that I wanted to like actually be a writer when like I had this composition book. I was doing this in 8th grade, so I don't know how I did it, but I would like write chapters every day, like just for the fun of it, and pass the composition book around to like my classmates, and they would take it home, read it, bring it back, I write another chapter. But I knew then that like I wanted to write because I started doing it for fun, and then after that I was like, you know what, I have a gift. Like this is something I want to do.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so well, let me be a little nosy. So in your little competition book, you worked on a little feisty thing, cause sometimes sometimes black parents, they go to their children booklet and folders and everything. So you didn't have nobody parent call your mom and say your daughter writing such and such this type of smut, or was you just kid friendly?
I think I did one time, but it wasn't the composition book that I still have now. But it was another story, and my dad ended up finding. I think he threw it in the trash or something like that. I was hurt. I'm like, it was probably 400 pages. It broke my heart, but he threw it in the trash. I think he threw it in the trash.
Hey, this book had taught me if if B didn't invite me to her spot, she got a secret agenda. Yeah. Or it could be that too, or they could be sometimes they don't want you at their spot. It could be a lot of different reasons, but I definitely see why you said it. It could be a lot of different reasons because you never know what somebody's going through behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know if they're in an abusive relationship or what type of household they're in. People tend to be secretive about a lot of stuff, and sometimes people don't always. One thing I learned is that people don't tell you everything that they go through. People tend to keep secrets, trying to be secret about it for a personal reason. Because I know for me, I may not tell you everything that goes on with me because I feel like it's nobody's business. But at the same time, I might tell you some things I feel like so you can know that I'm okay. Sometimes we don't always tell people what's going on because you don't want nobody throwing nothing back in their face. Because listen, if you throw something back in my face, that's gonna be the last time you ever do that. Right. The last time you ever do that. I ain't give you no second chance.
Right. So yeah, people do have different reasons for why there's people. But Misha was on something else.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
She did the red flag, yeah.
Oh, for real.
The red flag, yeah, I definitely get that. Okay. So, for the readers who may be discovering your work for the very first time, hook on Onyx, what would you want them to know about you as an author? And if someone was only going to read one of your books to introduce your writing style, which book would you recommend and why?
I would say me as an author, I don't really have a filter, so I'm not an author that's going to give you a trigger warning. All you know is not all you know. This is what you should know. I write urban fiction, and urban fiction is triggering, so I'm not one of the authors that gives trigger warnings. Start with Real Sisters, and from there you'll get like an idea of my writing style. That's how
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
real, like just blunt and like I said, I don't have filters when I write, so
Okay.
that's my writing style.
Okay. So you don't give no trigger warning at all in your book. So you don't believe in giving trigger warnings.
The trigger is I'm writing urban fiction. That's all I can tell you. I write urban fiction. Do with that as
Well, I get it. I get it. Cause, I mean, you're the first author that came across that they don't give no trigger warning. Because listen, I don't even if an author put trigger warning in the book, I don't even read it because I just go right past. If I get triggered, I get triggered. Where I just deal with my trigger then. You know what I'm saying? Because I see why they put trigger warning because sometimes they get complaints and stuff like that, which I do understand. But me, when it comes to trigger warnings, give it. I don't even read it. I open my Kindle when I download the book. I open it. I go straight to the prologue, whatever it is. I go straight to forget the triggers. Okay, I get that.
I've been writing since 2016, so like my writing style, like I've never had to like do that. Like my mental, like we're reading. This is urban fiction, so we got to know what we're reading before we picking it up. Like
Yeah.
we gotta know. This is urban fiction. I've never read an urban fiction book that was not, that didn't have like triggering
Yeah,
things.
triggers. Yeah, I guess it depends on what type of story it is. Because I know sometimes authors have to put trigger warning in. It depends on what type of, especially if it's dark and real heavy, they have to put trigger warning in it. Which I get. But listen, I always say, look, I guess I just be triggered then. That's how I look at it. I don't care about no triggers. If I triggered, I'm triggered. Shit. I just deal with it right then and there. That's just how I feel.
I just like to say, if you see urban at the beginning, like, hey, that's what you read, baby. That's all I can tell you. That's what you read. But I
Yeah.
kind of like, if it's like now, if I feel like I'm getting too graphic or something like that, I'm gonna give you a little warning. But other than that,
Yeah.
I'm writing urban fiction. That's all I can say.
Okay. Got you. Okay. Now, okay. So now we're not in an author mood, right? So, and not been creative story to have us all stressed out like Onyx and emotionally invested. What are you typically doing? If you are a reader, what type of books do you enjoy reading the most? And do you enjoy reading when you're not writing? Also, do you stick to the same genre as you write, or do you like to switch it up, explore something completely different?
So when I'm not writing, I just got into like working out. So now I either go to I'm working out, I'm at the gym, or either I'm reading. And I'm reading like erotica. I'm trying to get back into erotica. And I'm reading like older, like OG like writers like Nikki Turner, some of her books that I didn't read, like, or either Cairo. I don't think a lot of people. He's one of Zane authors, but I read from time to time, and Allison Hall. So I'm reading like in my spare time, or either working out, either one of the two.
Okay. So I got three. I got really got two more quick. Yeah, three questions. Okay, three questions. Okay. So before we ask it, I have to ask the question that everybody want to know. So are we outside this summer, like Carter B said? We outside? What's going on? What we doing? We doing other events or?
I'm not actually doing any until next summer, which is going to be the Miami Expo, and I may be at the one in Memphis. Fingers crossed. I'm still debating heavily on that, but I will definitely be in Miami 2027 at the Miami Expo. But this summer, I'm just writing. That's it. I'm just getting some more good stuff out for you guys.
Okay, so you stayed in Hennon this summer until next year, really? So you staying inside and ain't trying to be seen in a way.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just this summer.
Somebody said when needed dates. I know what you're talking about, man. Ain't it in?
That one is in April. I got you, Tiffany. If you're talking about the Miami one,
Yeah, I think she knows what she's talking about. I believe it's in April.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure what day in April. It's in April.
I didn't see some of y'all comments. I don't think I'm ignoring y'all. I didn't see some of them, but yeah, it's in April.
Okay. I would have asked you about that. Okay. For anyone who wants to support you after hearing this conversation, where can we find you and let us know your social media handle, website, and where can we purchase your book so we can also make sure we're keeping up with everything that you have going on?
You can find me on Facebook, Author Adrian, or either on Instagram, _bougie, spelled, thank you, April, _bougie, BOUJEECONJ, and the same on TikTok. I have the same,
Okay. Okay. Okay, you already told us there's gonna be a book 2. So are you currently working on book 2 right now, or are you working on something completely different?
I am working on book 2 because, like, y'all been on me about the ending. I don't like that. So I'm working on book 2. I ain't working on book 2.
Well, let me ask you this: since we know we're getting book 2, uh, just since I know we're getting book 2, let me ask you this: are you ending book 2 with an ending, or are you just gonna leave it with another cliffhanger? We're gonna have a book 3.
Book 2 is gonna be the ending, hopefully.
Okay.
That's why I don't like to say. I just.
We just gonna have to wait and see, y'all, cause we gonna have to wait and see if it's gonna be a book 2. Cause listen, if she leave us a cliffhanger with book 3, I'm gonna cut out publicly. Okay, I'm gonna cut out publicly. I'm gonna send you a voice message. Okay, I'm gonna send you a voice message on Instagram and on TikTok. Okay, if you leave us with a cliffhanger in book 2, okay, you better put a warning and say, I'm sorry, Faye. It's gonna be a book 3 or something. It's something. Listen, to the way you wrote that, but nah. But okay, since you're starting to get the feedback from Hook and Onyx, what was the most positive feedback that you had gotten about overall?
The most positive feedback I've gotten a lot. The main one is just like the character development. Like,
yeah,
some people do say like it may be a slow burn. I don't understand how, but just the development of the characters, like, because just like the depth of them, they like, okay, we actually understand the background of a lot of them, and a lot of people like how I develop just the story, how you got like the backstory of it, and that's the most positive feedback I've got so far.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where they got slow burn from, because that's why I'm confused. That slow burn where? I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm like, where the slow burn at? I'm like, they did not get the characters, or they wasn't getting the plot.
Maybe it was page 1. I don't know, but yeah, I heard that, but that's crazy. Only like probably 2% like of people said that. Man, I was like, but yeah, like only 2% of people said it was a slow burn. I'm like, I know my attention span. I don't know how to write slow burns, but
yeah, I'm like slow burn where? You know what? I'm trying to keep my platform, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut what I really want to say, but I can't. So ooh, child, listen, I'm that one reader. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it raw. I don't believe in sugarcoating that. You know, I tell people all the time, I'm not with a walker. Okay, I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing with you. I'm gonna keep it raw. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna tell you exactly exactly how I feel. You know, whether you like it or not. If you know, yeah, they don't. They couldn't comprehend. They shouldn't. No, they couldn't comprehend, or they just read the book too fast, or they read it too. I'm not gonna say slow, cause everybody read differently. Everybody read at a different pace. Cause I don't want to make it seem like I'm gonna shut up. Cause the way I'm gonna say it gonna make it seem like I'm being ugly and negative. So I don't want to do it. But I'm just gonna say people read it. People read it the way at a different pace and stuff like that. I'm just gonna say it like that. I can't say what I want to say because I don't want nobody to take offense to it, because it never will be my intention. So people probably did process it like how we normally process it. So that I could probably see why they say it's a slow burn. I'm just gonna keep it like that.
But yeah, because I see you fully understood it. It's like you dissected it, like from every point that I wanted to hit. Like you fully understood it. Like you caught like every gem.
Yeah. Cause that's one thing, like me, when I read to understand the plot, the theme, the character growth. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about me as an interviewer. Like you gonna know I read your book. You gonna know I read it because the way my question asked, you could tell or like, okay, she would have read it. She understand this scene what I'm talking about. That's what different about me. Cause like my question be different from everybody else because I want to pick your brain. I want to know why you voted the way you voted, and I want, in a sense, I'm kind of like I want to ask you questions, but I want in a way. I want to kind of like make a sense like to where, okay, I see why you voted like that, and I want you to feel like we're on the same page. You know what I'm saying? That's how my question come about. Yeah, I do get people say, "Well, I asked a hard question," but man,
You don't. You actually, your questions are very in depth, like to the point where you know, like you read for real.
yeah. Cause I try to make sure my question is on point and stuff like that because I don't want no author to ever say, "This girl didn't read my book, she ain't comprehend that, why she interview me?" You know what I'm saying? I don't want. Oh, you gonna know I read your book because my question could be kind of simple. Now, I do have some books I may not fully. I'll read it, but it's like, is it really, really, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut on that part. So I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna even say nothing. I'm not gonna even say that because uh, I'm not gonna say that. Thank you, Arthur Kaywood. Thank you. Do anybody have any questions that they would like to ask her before we wrap up this live? And also, don't worry, it will be on YouTube. Like I said, I'll have an upload sometime. By end of the week, I have uploaded by end of the week. So, if also some of the lives I have done, it have been uploaded to YouTube. But one. Step on one that I have not done. So, do anybody have any questions before we wrap up for tonight? And also, I do have another interview this Sunday with Arthur Taymor that we'll be discussing and drive me crazy. I think at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to join. So, trying to see if anybody have any questions. Let me see. April, so you gonna give us about 4 books?
April, please. 8. I mean, 4. Oh,
she said you gonna give us about 4 books.
4.
She get listen. April, if she give a 4 books, I don't coach you and her out.
I wouldn't even do y'all like that. Back in the day, I would now, but not now.
People just say, I'm going to read. Yes, I'm going to read them too. And I'm going to be complaining and cussing out in my mind. I'm going to be reading them too. I'm going to read them as I go and be cussing out. Mm-hmm. At the same time, because I was definitely cussing out after this book ended. Okay?
I'm sorry, y'all. That's why, like I said, I'm working on books too.
Okay, well, before I let you go, look at my last question. Do you have an idea when book 2 going to be released?
Absolutely. So we're looking at the beginning of August or the end of July. So it's coming very soon.
Okay, so we ain't gotta stay on the cliff too long. Okay. No, man. You ain't gotta be hanging left on the cliff. We're gonna be saved. Okay. Yes, okay, we're gonna be saved. Okay. That'd be good. That'd be good. Cause whenever book 2 come out, trust me, believe me, I'm gonna add you back to my calendar because we're gonna discuss book 2. Okay, Miss Ma'am. So yeah, cause I'm gonna need you back on so we can discuss book 2, and hopefully, what I'm gonna say, hopefully you won't be cussed out.
Don't cuss me out.
Hopefully you won't be cussed out.
And I'll have And I'll have another giveaway too this time. Like I love doing the giveaways. It's not for bribery reasons. It's just for appreciation. Like I just out of all the things you guys like have done, like you took the time to read my book, so that's just appreciating. Like if I could give to everybody, I would. But if I could be Oprah, but I'm gonna do another giveaway like for part 2. So be on the lookout for that, you guys.
Okay, she said she's gonna give us a giveaway. That's good, because especially after the emotional distress she done put her through. Mm-hmm. You know what? I need to send you my therapy bill. That's what I need to do. I need to go see a therapist and send you my therapy bill in the mail, or send it to you through my email. I'm gonna have to do the stress that you done put me through with this book, especially the ender. I'm like, this girl, no, she did. I'm like, no, she did.
I'm sorry, y'all. I got y'all with part 2.
Yeah. I hope she won't have us on another cliff. Hope she won't be having another cliff. Yeah, cause hope she won't have another cliff, child. We're just gonna have to wait and see till in July or sometime August, y'all. In July, August, yep. Okay, so do anybody else have any more questions? Because I don't want to take up too much of her time. And so y'all have any more questions? Okay, I don't see anything on my end. You see anything on your end?
I don't think so. I probably missed a few from up there, but yeah, I don't think nobody has any questions unless I'm missing them. Oh no.
Okay. Well, y'all have a wonderful 4th of... My mind somewhere. Y'all have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. And hopefully some of y'all will come back on Sunday to go back live with me on Sunday. I have an interview on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And then I have some more interviews. I have more interviews the rest of the month, y'all. So I'm completely booked. So yeah. So y'all enjoy your holiday, ladies. Enjoy your holiday. Thank you for coming on. And thank you so much, Adrian, for spending the time with me to talk to me. And I definitely will, okay. Well, I definitely send it to you.
Thank you, Tiffany. I enjoyed it too, April. I enjoyed all of y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining live with me. I really truly appreciate you for letting me take up your time for a whole hour in 6 minutes. I appreciate you. Bye, y'all.
I appreciate you too. Bye.
Bye.